So as you can see here, we have another problem from the Indian JEE Advanced 2014. JEE is Joint Entrance Examination to make it into the Indian Institute of Technology. So of course we cannot solve this in a conventional way because first the degree is 5, that is quite high, and also we have one parameter here, a, so we cannot factorize. So what is the strategy? One way is that we can sketch the graph. Well, actually not exactly sketching the graph, because we cannot graph it in detail because we don't know the value of a. A can be any real number. But what we want to know is, we want to know the behavior of the polynomial. In what intervals it is increasing, and where does it decreasing, right? And where are the maximum values, where are the minimum values, something like that, and how many times the curve passes to the x-axis. That is what we want to know. Okay, so we let fx be the polynomial, and then now let us analyze the f prime, the roots of f prime. F prime is just 5x power of 4 minus 5. To find the roots, we must have equal 0, and the solution, the roots of this equation, is easy, that is just plus or minus 1. So we have two critical points. The polynomial here has two critical points, that is minus 1 and 1. Now this is the real number line, so these are the critical points, minus 1 and 1. And also we want to know, where does the function increasing and where does it decreasing? Now let us analyze the value of f prime in 3 intervals, that is in between minus 1 and 1 here, and then when x is bigger than 1, and lastly when x is less than minus 1 here. First one is when x is between minus 1 and 1, you can easily check f prime is always negative. And if the first derivative is negative, it means that the function f is decreasing here. In this interval, f is decreasing. And then for the other intervals, it must be positive. The f prime is positive, so this means that the function is increasing. So let me show it to you here. So the function here, the f will increasing in this interval, and then after reaching minus 1, it starts to turn around and decreasing, and then up to x equals 1, it shouldn't be like this, maybe like this, and then after this, it turns again and starts to increasing again up to plus infinity. And of course, this is also from minus infinity, right? Because in this interval, it is always increasing, so it must be from minus infinity right here. So this will be the behavior of our 5-degree polynomial. Okay, so let us continue. So this will be the peak value here when x equals minus 1, and this will be the value when x equals 1. So the peak is f minus 1, that is 4 plus a, that is the maximum value. And then this is easy to check, you just plug in minus 1 into the function f, and then the value is f1, that is when x equals 1. We have f is minus 4 plus a. Now this time, we will check how many times the curve passes through the x-axis. To do that, we just check for different cases of a, values of a. We start with when a is less than minus 4. When a is less than minus 4, we have the peak is 4 plus a, and if a is less than minus 4, then this will be negative. So the peak will be a negative value, and the valley, that is f1, will be still negative. This is also negative, right? So the peak and valley are both negative values. So the curve will look like this. This is the peak and this is the valley, and both are negative values. So it passes through the x-axis one time right here. So we can clearly see now that the number of root is 1 when a is less than minus 4. Okay, that is one discovery. And next, let us check when a is equal to minus 4. When a is minus 4, the peak, which is 4 plus a, is 0, and the valley will be negative. So the curve will look like this. This is the peak. The peak is exactly at the x-axis here. Okay, so you can see here, it passes through the x-axis one time, and it touched the x-axis one time also. So the roots, we have two roots now. So actually, it doesn't always have to be passing the x-axis, right? It can be just touching the x-axis like this. This is also a root, right? So, okay, another discovery, we have two roots when a is equal to minus 4. Next, when a is between minus 4 and 4. The peak is 4 plus a, that will be positive because a is now bigger than minus 4, and the valley is still negative because a is less than 4. So we have positive peak, and negative value. So this time it passes through the x-axis 3 times. Here, increasing here, and then going down again. So it will pass through the x-axis again here, and then going down, and then increasing. So it will pass through the x-axis again. So we have three roots when a is between minus 4 and 4. Next, when a is equal to 4, we now have the valley is equal to 0. And the peak, of course, it will be positive. So the valley touches the x-axis like this. So we can see here, it touches the x-axis here, and it passes through the x-axis here. The curve passes through the x-axis here, so we have exactly two roots when a is equal to 4. This is the same when we have a is equal to minus 4, right? When a is minus 4, we also have two roots in the previous result. Okay, so last case is when a is bigger than 4. Because when a is bigger than 4, 4 plus a is positive, and minus 4 plus a also positive. So we have peak and valley are both positive. So positive peak and positive valley. So it only passes through the x-axis one time here. So there is only one root in this case. Okay, so those are all the possibilities for the values of a. So we can summarize now. About the number of roots of this polynomial. We have one root when a is bigger than 4 and a is less than minus 4. That is when the absolute value is bigger than 4. We have two roots when either a is equal to 4 or a is equal to minus 4, right? And we have three roots when a is between minus 4 and 4. So this is our conclusion about this problem, about this polynomial. Now the actual question of the JEE Advanced is this. And so which are the correct answers? Those are B, because it says f has one real root when a is bigger than 4. That is true. And D, f has three real roots when a is between minus 4 and 4. A and C are incorrect. Okay, so that's it for now. That is the This is the problem from the JEE Advanced 2014.